Disney World, Genie Plus, Park Hopping Challenge. Let's go. Here's how this is gonna work. I have purchased Genie Plus for the day and I'm headed to all 4 Walt Disney World theme parks and I'm going to do 3 of the top attractions in each park. Is this possible? I have literally no idea, but we're gonna find out together. For those of you unfamiliar, as a quick recap, Genie 101. Disney Genie is the new service that replaced FastPass Plus last fall. There are 3 versions of Disney Genie. There is free Disney Genie, which provides customizable itineraries, predictive weights, and a few other new features in the app. There is Genie Plus, which is $15 per person per day and works on over 40 different attractions across the 4 theme parks, allowing you to skip the line once at each of these attractions. And then there are fancy rides, as I call them, which are also attractions that have an ability to skip the line, but you have to pay extra for them individually. At all of these attractions where you can skip the line you're gonna enter is called the Lightning Lane. The Lightning Lane is just a physical lane that grants you that preferred access. For today's video, we are only doing Genie Plus attractions. We're not touching fancy rides, but we got a lot to do, 12 attractions in one day, and we're not phoning this in, friends. I'm not gonna go to the parks and do like Magic Carpets of Aladdin, the Barnstormer, and the Teacups. No, no. We are doing big attractions. So the thing people hate about Genie Plus, besides the fact that it costs money and FastPass didn't, is that it's very confusing, and I get that. So we've done a ton of videos breaking it down, showing you how to book everything, but one of the confusing things about it is when you can book passes. So for the Genie Plus attractions, anyone and everyone, resort guest or not, can book their first one at 7 a.m. that day. And I highly recommend, especially at this park where it's starting at Hollywood Studios, being on right at 7 a.m. and booking, if you'd like to ride it, Slinky Dog Dash, because it will be on for the whole day within minutes. So that's what I did this morning. I woke up bright and early, right at 7 on the dot. I clicked it, and it defaulted to the next available time because thousands of other people were clicking it too, and I got a 12:55 Slinky Dog Dash. But that's not the first attraction we're going to today, friends, because I already kicked in the dreaded 120-minute rule. The 120-minute rule is the only way that you can have more than one Genie Plus at a time, and that is so that you don't have to go hours and hours without booking a Genie Plus. Basically, you can book your second Genie Plus after you've used your first one, if your first window expires because you missed it for some reason, or 2 hours after you've booked the first one, whichever comes first. And it doesn't start till the park opens, so the park opened at 9, meaning I could book at 11 a second one. And I booked Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. I was shocked to see that Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run was showing up still. Normally it's gone by now. Rock and Roller Coaster Struggle Bus, it's been temporarily closed for a while. It's had a rough year. Like 2022 is not starting strong for Rock and Roller Coaster. It's been closed a lot. We already have Slinky Dog booked, and everything else I want is around 2 o'clock, but I kept refreshing. I almost pulled an 11:25 Tower, but it went away. I had a different Millennium Falcon, and then it went away, but finally I was able to book a 12:25 at Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, which is pretty good for that attraction, considering it's usually the second to go after Slinky Dog. I still have about 10 minutes or so before I can use my Lightning Lane, so that just means it's time for me and coffee to hang out over here. I don't know if chugging a Trenta coffee right before riding a simulator was the smartest idea, but you know what? Whatever, we're rolling with it. Let's do it. It's time for our Lightning Lane, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Here we go. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is definitely very popular. It has a 70-minute wait right now, and it usually has a pretty long wait because there's low capacity, and they prioritize the Lightning Lane. So this one was always popular, and it's definitely been hit hard by Genie Plus. So highly recommend using one here if you purchase Genie Plus. I do want to point out that by going through the Lightning Lane, you don't get the entire queue experience. You miss some of the maintenance cargo bay that they're working in, but you don't miss the pre-show with Hondo Ohnaka, which is really cool because he's an amazing animatronic. If you do go into single rider, you do skip the pre-show, so just keep that in mind. I just went through the pre-show, and now I am about to board the Millennium Falcon, but there's a little bit of a backup. So I'm using this time to fiddle-faddle for a closer time for one of the other popular rides. Like I said, we're not phoning this in, so I already have a Slinky Dog booked. We're on Smuggler's Run, so the other three I'm looking at are Rock and Roller Coaster, Toy Story Mania, or Tower of Terror. So I just consistently refresh. Right now they're all showing between the 4 and 5 o'clock-ish times. And I'm just gonna keep pulling it down and refreshing and hope something sooner comes by. And that's because this is a first available system, like old paper FastPass. However, unlike paper FastPass, sometimes if you refresh it, it pulls new time. So it can take a while. I refreshed enough and I got a 105 for Tower of Terror, which will be great. And ride that after Slinky before I can park hop. One of 12 done. We have a long way to go, but that attraction is really fun, especially if you're with your family. There's a very sweet family behind me, and I was supposed to be the pilot, but I let them be the pilot, and the little girl was like laughing and giggling the whole time, so that warmed my soul a little bit. And yeah, so this attraction's definitely a must-do if you're a Star Wars fan, and it's a lot of fun if you have a group of people, but I would not wait a 70-minute line, which is currently posted at. So use Lightning Lane on this one, and now we're headed to Toy Story Land. Wait, but first, it's very important. Had to give him a Baby Yoda pick. People sometimes forget that with Genie Plus you get the AR filters. They're within the app, and there's a bunch of different ones. There are some that you can use anywhere. There's some that are location specific, and the Baby Yoda one is one of the location specific ones. So I always like to get that photo when I think about it, and it's very cute and very fun. But now to Toy Story Land. We made it to Slinky Dog Dash in Toy Story Land. This is for sure the most popular attraction on Genie Plus. This baby will be gone in seconds of 7 a.m. So if you want to ride this one without a long line, and I promise you do, it always has a long line. It has an 80-minute line right now. You're going to want to be clicking this one at 7 a.m. on the dot. Slinky Dog Dash, check. That's 2 of 12. I adore that attraction. It gets a bad rep, and I understand why. It's very hot in this land. The line's always very long, and the Lightning Lane is gone within minutes. So I get it, but I love it. So if you don't want to use a Lightning Lane on this one, or you're not purchasing Genie Plus, my recommendation is first thing in the morning or last thing at night. It's really fun at night, so that's really my ideal time to ride it without a Lightning Lane. Headed to our third attraction in this park, Tower of Terror. This is a very popular attraction. Whoa, the crowd is thick right here. Looks like Beauty and the Beast live on stage just got let out. Tower of Terror is for sure one of the most popular and well-loved rides in all of Walt Disney World. The wait really fluctuates on this one. Earlier it was 30 minutes, while everything else is over an hour. And but sometimes it's well over an hour too. So you can sometimes catch this one without needing to have a Genie Plus. But if you're purchasing it, you know, might as well use it, am I right? This park, whether you're using Genie Plus or not, is for sure the most complicated park to visit. It requires the most strategery of any of the parks. It's the one that you really should rope drop if you want to avoid long lines. And that's because it has so many heavy hitter, really popular attractions. Rise of the Resistance, Slinky Dog Dash, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, Toy Story Mania, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. There's so many really A+ attractions, and then not a lot else. There's a lot of great shows, a lot of people don't want to go see shows. So because of that, the attractions all get really, really long lines because that's where everybody is. It is possible to have a great day here without waiting in line for anything, especially with Genie Plus. I'm doing a new Perfect Day series where I'm going to be using both Genie Plus and standby queues, mixing and matching. So make sure you check that out. But let's go ride Tower of Terror. And once I tap in for a second time inside Tower of Terror, I'm gonna have to start looking at what I want to do next. My heart is telling me to go to Animal Kingdom next since they close the earliest. But if I see a soon time for one of the big ones, like Test Track at Epcot or Mansion or Big Thunder over at Magic Kingdom, I may be swayed a different direction. Tower of Terror just came on and announced, we hadn't moved for a few minutes, and they just came on and announced that half the elevators aren't working, which is bad because it's going to take longer. So they're definitely going to prioritize the lightning lane, but it's also getting close to 2, and I need a skitty scat because I have 3 more parks, 9 more attractions, and not very much time. So Tower better chop chop. You're so cute! For us? Oh, thank you! I am very lucky to have ridden Tower of Terror when I did, because now it's completely closed and they're not letting anyone else get in line. So that delay did put us behind schedule like 15-20 minutes, so we got a boogie to the next park. Oh, how I'd love another coffee. There's no time. Okay, I'm about 3 minutes from my official time. I'm late, but hoping they will let me in. Fast Pass always had a grace period on it. I've had a grace period on several attractions with lightning lanes. Like, I'm talking less than 5 minutes grace period. But I've also been told no, late, so let's find out. Awesome, thank you. Yes, it worked. Phew. So it seems like on shows there's no grace period, but on most attractions, if you're a few minutes late, I'm talking like 5 or so, definitely talk to the cast members or try your band. They don't want you like shoving chicken nuggets in your pocket and running or anything. They want you to be safe moving about the park. Phew. Okay, so now that we've tapped in here, one of my biggest pro tips is to always have one. So once you've tapped in at the attractions, and some attractions do have a second touch point, start booking that next one. Mediocre safari ended great. The elephants weren't out. You could only see one hippo kind of in the back. But then we saw the baby rhino. He was so cute. Got very close to an ostrich, which was very scary. You could see all 3 lions. Safari, always one of my all-time favorite things. So the dinosaurs available pretty much immediately. So I refreshed a bunch of times and finally got a Na'vi River Journey to show up for in a few minutes. I'm also very hungry, so I am going to get a kids meal and eat it as I walk. That's how serious these challenges are. What do you think I'm gonna get to eat? It's a mystery. I bet it'll appear in my hand momentarily. Yeah, I got a kids meal cheeseburger pod. I got 2 oranges. Bird. I got 2 oranges and a bottle of water. Threw those in my backpack. Now I'm gonna eat this as I walk to Na'vi River Journey.
Ah, Pandora. The floating mountains. The luscious waterfalls. Oh no. No. No, why? Why?
Cheeseburger pod eaten. Let's go to see the bioluminescent forest. Vanessa posted 50 minute wait right now, which that's too long for this ride. This ride has a very low capacity, and that's part of the reason the line will get so long. Because again, anytime a ride is popular and has a low capacity and offers lightning lane, they give priority to lightning lane people, so the standby goes up and up. And that's always how it's been. That's how it was with FastPass. It's not a new thing with Genie Plus. But if Na'vi River Journey's on your list, this is definitely one you should prioritize booking. It often sells out. So I would book this one first if you're coming to Animal Kingdom, and rope drop Safari. Or book Safari first and then come over here after to do Flight of Passage in this. Oh, it just went up to 60 minutes. For the record, that's the longest line in the park. Na'vi River Journey currently has a longer line than Flight of Passage. Na'vi River Journey check. After I tapped in, I went ahead and booked Dinosaur, which was available for like the next minute. So I'm headed to do that. One thing very interesting just happened on Na'vi River Journey, and that's that they put another couple in the row with me. And that hasn't happened. I don't know if that's ever happened, even pre-closure. I don't remember them putting parties together. I think they were trying to speed things along, but that was something that happened. And then the big question is going to be Epcot or Magic Kingdom next. There's some big ones not showing availability at both. Let's take a look. So I've pinned some attractions at both parks. You can do this by setting up your Genie Day and having selecting your top attractions. Thunder's out. Mansion's not for till 7:40. Buzz is around 5. Jungle's out. Peter Pan's out. And Pirates is around 6. I'm trying to do 3 of those. Remember, I'm not going to do Mine Trainer's Space Mountain because those are fancy rides. And Splash is closed for refurbishment. So my options are a little limited and not looking great at Magic Kingdom. But at Epcot, the ones I pinned were Soarin', which is available soon, Spaceship Earth available soon, and Test Track, which says nothing. So I have to make a decision. I guess I'll see what's available after I tap in at Dinosaur and go from there. Made it to Dinosaur. I love this attraction. It's one of my favorites in this park. Some people don't like this one because it's loud and dark, but I like it. It just may scare your kids because there's giant dinosaurs too, in addition to being loud and dark. This one can really vary with waits. It has a 25-minute wait now, which isn't very long, but it was over an hour earlier. What has happened to Aladar? I'm so sorry. What is... My guy. You're not looking so hot, buddy. Are you getting a paint job? Anyway. Sometimes it has a long line, sometimes it doesn't. So this is one park I feel like on a normal day you don't need Genie Plus. The attractions wane enough that if you plan for the big ones, which are Flight of Passage, Safaris, you know, you can Na'vi, you can avoid long lines at this park more than others. But if you've got Genie Plus and you're park hopping like we are, why wouldn't you use it? Bill. Do you know Bill Nye the Science Guy talks in the pre-show or the pre-show here in the queue? He's one of very few people that have been on 2 Disney attractions. If you know the other attraction Bill Nye was in, it no longer exists. Share it down in the comments. It's time to talk to Dr. Grant Seeker.
Hello there. Welcome to our little trans-dimensional joyride, folks. I'm Dr. Seeker, your friendly controller, and a heck of a paleontologist, if I do say so myself. But let's not talk about me, let's talk about you, and how you can help me make history today with the Time Rover. It's like this. If I can bring you back from the Cretaceous period, it stands to reason that I can bring back a live dinosaur with you. And not just any dinosaur.
Asteroid impact.
They're not gonna make it! They're not gonna make it!
Mission accomplished.
You made it!
Dinosaur. Check. We're done in Animal Kingdom. I still don't know what park we're going to next. I'm thinking Magic Kingdom. I can get Buzz like around 5:20, 5:30, which by the time I get there will be the right time. I'm just kind of still fiddling because I've gotten got by Big Thunder like 6 times where it'll say I've got it, and then by the time it spins, it'll say, no, you don't have it. So, thinking Magic Kingdom because there's more rides is maybe a better bet right now, because Magic Kingdom's only going to get busier the closer it gets to fireworks. So I think it's ready to go now, while hopefully some people are still taking their afternoon breaks. It just takes perseverance and a lot of refreshing. And I get asked a lot if I can do it better because I'm one person, if it would be harder for a group, but it would not be. I have confirmed by my own experience doing this with friends and family when they visit. I have talked to many cast members, including ones on the IT team, and it's first come, first available. So it doesn't matter how many are in your party. I promise. They've said from 1 to 12, it will all work the same. It will show the same things. So when it's this time of day, it's all about being fast and catching it quickly when you see it. But you can use these little tipperoos for any size party. Well, if you've got like 40 people with you, first of all, good luck. Second of all, probably wouldn't work, but you know, party 4, party 6, party 8, just keep refreshing. I finally got it. Oh my gosh. I finally got it. I was finally quick enough on Big Thunder. That locks it in. This is in like 35 minutes, so let's go. Thank you. All right, we made it into the Magic Kingdom. It's 5:23. For the record, both Magic Kingdom and Epcot close at 9 tonight. We have 6 more rides to do. And less than 4 hours. No. Yeah. Less than 4 hours to do it. Math is hard, but we can do it. Let's go. Headed to Big Thunder first. Oh, someone's on the train station. You know how you can tell? All these people looking up at the train station. Oh, they're leaving. Thank goodness. I don't have time to get distracted. And it's been proven time and time again that I do get distracted by characters. We've made it to Frontierland. Oh, Splash. All boarded up. It's not the Princess and the Frog refurb yet. Water rides typically go for refurb during the winter times, so it's still Splash. As you know, Splash. Or it will be when it reopens. TBD on the Princess and the Frog refurb. But now, we are boogieing to Thunder. Magic Kingdom is definitely a park I think you should use Genie Plus if you're going to pay for it. It is a very, very, very busy park with a lot of big rides. And I actually do think Genie Plus works a little better here than Studios because more popular attractions, so the guests are spread out a little bit more. Things will still run out, but not, there's no Slinky Dog here that's going to run out immediately. Your heavy hitters that are going to run out are Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan's Flight, Big Thunder, possibly Splash. This has a posted 70-minute wait right now. I adore this attraction. I think it's so much fun. It always makes me laugh. So this is one I would definitely prioritize using Genie Plus with. But let's go enjoy the wildest ride in the wilderness. We've been moving really slow, and I just found out why. I couldn't quite tell, but they're only loading half. Normally you can use both sides, and they load from both sides of the train, but they must be having an issue with the load platform. So this is the second time that's happened today, friends. I don't know what that means. I hope it doesn't slow us down too much. In the meantime, though, I'm just a fiddling and a faddling. I can get Buzz for pretty soon, but I'd rather get Pirates or something closer so that I don't have to walk all the way across the park and zigzag so much, but if I have to, I have to. But for now, I'm gonna fiddle faddle since I'm stuck waiting in this delayed load at Thunder. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is truly one of my favorite Disney attractions. It just makes me laugh so hard every time I ride it because like you fly across the seat. It's just great. Ooh, you know what else is great? These Disney ducks. Hi guys. Hi, I love you. You're very cute. I appreciate that you're here. I want you to know that. Yeah, I love you. Anyway, while I was waiting to board, since it did take a little bit longer, I refreshed and I freshed. I got a few times by Haunted Mansion. And when I say I got, I mean that something pops up at a time you want, or in Haunted Mansion's case, pops up at all. It was missing. And then you click it, and then by the time you click it, it either changes the time to something you don't want, or it says you can't have it. And it's because someone else beat you by moments. So I got by Haunted Mansion like 3 or 4 times. But then I finally got Haunted Mansion in about 15 minutes. So I'm very pleased with this. And I'm headed over towards the Haunted Mansion right this very moment. Wait, I have 15 minutes. Should I eat a snack? Here we go to the Haunted Mansion. Probably the most beloved attraction in the Disney universe, and one of the very few attractions I think is better on the East Coast than the West Coast. Most of the time they're built for Disneyland, so Disneyland has the better version of the Magic Kingdom Disneyland duos, but I actually think if you're comparing regular Haunted Mansion to regular Haunted Mansion, this one wins. Disneyland does have Hatbox Ghost, which is awesome, and they get Haunted Mansion Holiday, which Disney World doesn't get, but this version is amazing. It's an absolute must-do at the Magic Kingdom. It won my Magic Kingdom ranking video, so I'm thrilled to ride it right now. Yeah, everyone needs to stand. I love that it makes that noise too when you go in. I've actually done a whole video on the Haunted Mansion, all the lore and the backstory and the detail at this attraction. And one thing I love about this attraction, like the overarching thing I love, is that this is an opening day attraction. It opened in 1971 here, 1969 in Disneyland, and it still slaps. Most of the effects have not been changed at all. It's simple geniusness thanks to master special effects Yale Gracie, who's an incredible Imagineer, and it still is amazing guests to this day. It's awesome. Time check. It is 6:24. There are 2.5 hours left of park time. I have to ride one more ride here, get to Epcot, and ride 3 rides there. This is spicy, but as it was once stated in the classic Tim Allen and Alan Rickman film. Never give up, never surrender. And I did not. And I was able to eventually pull a Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin for in 5 minutes from now. So I am walking very quickly across the entire park. It's so pretty. Don't want to get in people's family photos. It's like a people maze. I will say when I was fiddle faddling, there was a Pirates in about 45, 50 minutes. So there was Pirates still available. I did get Jungle and Peter Pan to both pop back up. It just was for far away from now. And I don't have time. Plus, I want to go see Buzz. Pretty much everything at Epcot is available right now except for Test Track. Obviously, I'd like Test Track because that's the hardest Lightning Lane Genie Plus to get at Epcot. But I haven't seen it pop up since literally Hollywood Studios, which was the first park how many hours ago? So, we'll see. That's 3 rides at Magic Kingdom done. We are booking it out of this park to get on the monorail. Hopefully that doesn't take too long. And we've got, at this point, 2 hours and 20 minutes till Epcot closes. I feel confident about Soarin', about Spaceship Earth, about Living with the Land. Any of those I want to do, that's great. But I'd really like Test Track. I'm so stressed about Test Track, I didn't even do that well on Space Ranger this week. Oh my gosh, look at all of them up there. It's Goofy and Chip and Dale and Mickey and Minnie and Donald, Daisy and Pluto, and I love you, but I have to go. Great news. The monorail's delayed. Oh my gosh, I think the Epcot monorail just got here. If I can get off this monorail fast enough, I wonder if I can get on it. Or if I'm gonna miss it, then have to wait for the next one, which would be so great. Can she do it? Maybe my editor will give me some theme song music. Maybe he'll give me a theme song that's not me trying to sing my own theme song. Maybe he'll play the Rocky theme song. Made it. Okay, now I'm gonna spend the entire time refreshing for Test Track. It came up one time when I was on the other monorail, but I got, so hope is not lost. We're currently holding for future traffic, so. Oh, Spaceship Earth, you are so glorious right now. All right, we have, time check, 20 minutes approximately till I can ride Test Track, or I can tap in at Test Track, and then I will be violently, that's a weird word, and then I will be passionately trying to get through both Spaceship Earth and Soarin' as quickly as possible after that. Ugh! This Spaceship Earth is so pretty, you want to cry? Hold on, we got to break for a second. Get that Graham content, you know what I mean? Time to ride Test Track. So I want to tap in as soon as possible, get both taps in as soon as possible. I will say it's only about an hour, a little more than an hour before the park closes, and the posted wait is 35 minutes. So if you were hopping into Epcot, a lot of people hop into Epcot because it's usually open later. This is where a lot of people like to get dinner and drinks, maybe check out a festival after you've been at another park all day. I spent a very long time refreshing my screen to get Test Track to pop up, but odds are the wait will be very manageable at the end of the night unless it's peak season. So keep that in mind as well. You know, if you were just popping over, I would have recommended booking Soarin' or booking something else than just riding Test Track, not spending your entire monorail ride refreshing the screen, but just showing you that it's possible. anything is possible. Wishes do come true. You can reach the stars if you just believe. Share the magic in your heart, and there's nothing you can't do. Anything is possible. Just find the dream inside of you. Bonus points if you know what I'm saying and where it came from. We're headed into the design studio next, but since I've tapped my second time, I can go ahead and book again. My goal is to book Spaceship Earth, like for right now, 7:50, that's in 3 minutes. So that way by the time I get off this, I can do Spaceship Earth and then zoop around to the land. Hopefully I will have time, and fingers crossed nothing goes wrong in the next 39, 40 minutes. Done. I always forget how ridiculous those cars are, like, to get into. Like, I almost fall into the car every time because it's a huge step down. Which does remind me, on our website, we have a seat guide for every ride and theater show in Disney World. We have a full seat guide. So if you ever are wondering, like, when do I have to step down into boats? What are the seats like? Am I gonna be comfortable? We have a whole seat gallery that you can check out. We will put that in our bio for you if that is of service. Because those cars, I tell ya, whew. Anyway, it is 8:15, which means there are 15 minutes left of using lightning lanes, and I have got to get to Spaceship Earth immediately and tap in and book Soarin'. So let's hope I can do it. Walking as fast as I can. Hoping Soarin' is not unavailable. Spaceship Earth only has a posted 5-minute wait right now. Soarin' has a 15. Remy has a 60. Frozen has a 60. So Epcot's a park that I think under normal circumstances you don't need to buy Genie Plus specifically for this park. If anything, buy Remy or Frozen if those mean a lot to you and you don't want to wait in a long line. Remy is now standby, no longer virtual queue. But I think you don't need to buy Genie Plus just for this park. I personally would probably buy, hello. Thank you. One of the fancy rides if one of those meant enough to me and I didn't want to worry about waiting in line or rope dropping to get there during early park hours. As we learned in Quincy My Rope Drop experiment, if you're not coming in as a resort guest, it's actually not great to get here super early. But obviously if you're park hopping over, especially from like Studios or Magic Kingdom where you got Genie Plus, then sure, yeah, of course use it. All right, I've tapped in twice. Let's hope I can book Soarin'. Spaceship Earth done, a classic, a must ride at Epcot, and I was able to book Soarin' for now, so let's do it. Made it into the land for the last ride of the day, 12 of 12. This is my favorite ride at Epcot, and I'm excited to end on it. What a day it's been. I really enjoyed this one. It's just a pleasant ride, you know what I mean? It's like, not really a thrill ride because it's just like watching a movie, but it's like calm and relaxing. about Soarin', but that is like the only attraction that every time I ride it, people clap when it's over. People love that attraction. There were these ladies next to me on like a girls trip. They were about my mom's age, and they were all just giggling and oohing and awing the whole time. There's something about this attraction that's just like, it's one of the most universally adored attractions. Well, friends, we did it, and it's time to recap what we learned with the highlight tips and tricks. First of all, we did 12 attractions across all 4 parks and 12 big, fun, heavy hitter, popular attractions. The best tips that I can share with this is know which parks need Genie Plus and don't. Because you can add it day of, which is what I recommend as opposed to paying for it altogether, I would recommend purchasing it for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. But if you're planning the majority of your day at Epcot or Animal Kingdom, you probably don't need it if it's an off-peak day. No matter what though, make sure you're up and at 'em at 7 a.m. and booking that first lightning lane. If you're headed to Hollywood Studios first, I highly recommend Slinky Dog Dash. If you're headed to Magic Kingdom, Jungle Cruise or Peter Pan's Flight. If it's Epcot, Test Track. And if it's Animal Kingdom, either Kilimanjaro Safaris or Navi River Journey, whichever one of those you're more passionate about. The next tip I have, make sure you have a lightning lane as often as possible. As soon as you tap into an attraction, look for another one and see if you can get it. Now that doesn't mean spend your time on the rides looking at your phone. Please enjoy these incredible attractions. That's why you're working so hard and paid so much money to be here. But start looking. If an attraction you like pops up, grab it. If not, fiddle faddle and refresh a few times, which is my next tip. Make sure you're refreshing every time you look at it if you don't see something you want right away. I'm not saying you need to do it as often as I do or as long as I do. That's just for these fun challenges, but it's just to show you that you can refresh a few times and new options often pop up. Next tip, use your transportation as a time to fiddle faddle if there's something you really want to do and you're not seeing. I use the monorail, I use the buses as a time to really just refresh, because it's not like I was missing out on being in the park. I was just using some kind of dead time to book another attraction. And last but not least, no matter what, whether you're using Genie Plus or not, planning is essential, especially at parks like Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom. So make that list of must-dos and figure out if Genie Plus will help you accomplish that. Only you can decide if Genie Plus is worth it for your family. For some people, if they get on 3 of their favorite attractions, it's worth the $15 per person cost. For other people, it's just not going to be worth it and they'd rather wait in a few lines as opposed to paying the cost. Only you can decide that. What we're here to do is show you how it works, show you examples, provide you some tips and tricks, and hope to help you make the most of your vacation. I actually shot a version of this challenge a few months ago, but then they changed a rule and it completely changed the challenge that I did, and I didn't want to show it to you guys knowing people wouldn't be able to use the system that way. So hopefully this was helpful, showing you how to park hop, showing you some tips and tricks. Follow us on social media at AllEarsNet, and now go watch my Magic Kingdom Genie Challenge where I do every single lightning lane in just one day. Bye!